So since we started this at the end of the last one, I figured why not continue it, give you a new video if you want to. So let's talk about coding the sequence diagram here. So this is really starts with the first part of creating a class. Again, if you're not sure, use your hints. You can say create shell, or I can just say show everything if you're not sure where to start. I want to show you this time just because you can't copy any of this. But this gives you a structure that we can kind of see what has happening in the sequence diagram, which is not necessarily as apparent. It's not necessarily a one-to-one correlation. So if we go back to our instructions over here, so we're coding the class defined by the first call of rond line. Right, so we're going to define a floor class and we're going to implement this method rond right here. It's a dancing move if you don't know what that is. So within the floor object. Again, you can read more of this as you want to, but we can also just use the hint to help us give us a guide. So let me actually bring the hint over here and bring the code over here because it's going to disappear when I put it on. So the first thing is when I have another class, I need to import that other class. That's one of the things we got to remember in Python. You can put more than one class in a file, but the best practice is each class goes in its own file. So from partner, import star. Now, we could import specific things, but we're just going to import everything from the partner file. Now, why is it called partner? Well, in this case, the object I'm calling is called partner, but it doesn't have a type associated with it. Unless it has a colon after it and tells me the type of it, I'm just going to assume that the name of the class is capital letter P partner because the lowercase p partner is the object. Likewise, I'm going to create a class floor as the next line, class floor, capital F floor to match the lowercase floor that goes there. If you're not given a class name, just assume it's the name of the object with a capital letter up front. I need to create a constructor because I need, and by the way, it's going to be an empty parameter constructor. So just a self right there. I need to create a variable here that I'm going to be able to go and call. And let's just assume that that variable is going to be private. So we'll use the underscore, two underscore characters right there. Partner, lowercase p, because that's what it shows up in the diagram. It's going to be a capital P, the name of the class partner right there. So the capital P partner is the name of the class, which is the one I'm importing from the other one. That happens to be a file name capital P partner. The lowercase p partner is what I'm referring to it because that's what the diagram's referring to it as, right? So this is the object I'm going to call when I want my partner to do an inside step maneuver, right? Another dance move that's out there. And so it does that in response to me doing a rond. That's the choreography, if you will. So I'm going to define the rond method. In this case, I'm just typing this in from the example I'm given. The skip line, just to form anything, it actually doesn't have to be there. So self dot underscore underscore, because it's private partner. And the private means other people can't see my partner. Only I can see my partner to ask it to do dance moves. Dot inside step. And I'm passing in none. Now, what I should be passing in is one of my feet, right? I'm doing an inside step. My foot is stepping inside of your step or something like that, however the dance move goes, for those of you who are dancers out there. And then it's expecting me to return a line after a rond. And so I'm going to do a return none. Now, none in this case is because I don't have any other objects defined. I'm just keeping it simple. You don't need to do the logic logically. You need to do the logic structurally. And so in this sequence diagram, somebody tells the floor to do a rond, and then the floor then triggers its partner to do an inside step maneuver, and then the partner does another inside step maneuver with itself, apparently. That's the sequence that's going on here. Again, these are randomly generated. Sometimes they're logical, sometimes they're silly, sometimes they're funny, the sequence that happens. But our job here is to code this up. So I say submit code. Again, I typed it in from that example. Of course, it should work. If you want to challenge yourself, well, kick up the level. I kick this up to level 4. I generate a sequence diagram. Oh, wow, look at it now. So there's all this stuff going on. Now, all I have to do if I go read my instructions is I'm defining the run JavaScript as part of the browser. And so that means I make this call and a bunch of stuff happens that I don't see. And then I make this call, load page, onto myself. And then I make this call down here to add domain. And I made it too big here. I need to move it over. Right. And then I can scroll down here. So if you want to try a complicated one, you can have a few more calls in it this way. Not as complicated as the firewall one in this case, but you can see, as I said, these are randomly generated. They're just there to